Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Food Experience. Today's experience, I got a whole bunch of different cooking demos that I'm going to do for you guys in the Kalorik Maxx Air Fryer Oven Grill Edition. I got a whole variety of things, from cooking things to baking things. Anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started. Time to make some bacon. I'm going to use Oscar Mayer thick cut bacon. Normally I get fresh bacon from the butcher counter at my market, but I wanted to try a brand that everybody is familiar with. Go ahead and press the selector dial to wake it up. Press start stop. I'm going to go to air fry. Leave it in regular air fry mode. I'm going to up the time a little to allow for a preheat, and I'm going to set it at 360 degrees and start her up. While it is preheating, the air fry light is blinking. When the preheat is complete, air fry will turn solid, and then I'll put the bacon in. The Max is definitely preheated now, so I'm going to go ahead and put the drip pan in the bake to position. And I'm going to put the air fryer basket with bacon into the regular air fry position. I'm going to slide it forward a little bit, and we're going to let it go. I'll go ahead and set it on 10 minutes and just keep an eye on it. Being that I started at 10 minutes, there's 3 minutes left. It's about 7 minutes. So I think I'll go ahead and remove the bacon now and see what we're looking at. Here's what I'm looking at. It actually looks really good. I like my bacon a little crisp, but I also like it a little flexible. And this is exactly the way I like it. Let me go ahead and try a bite. Oh yeah, crispy exterior, tender inside. Definitely job well done with the Kalorik Maxx Air Fryer Oven Grill. I'm going to try cooking these sirloin steak center cut pieces on the grill grate. But first, I'm going to go ahead and mist them with oil and also apply a rub and let them get to room temperature. That's what I'm looking at. I decided I'm only going to cook one of them for now, and here's a look at the cut that I'm going to cook. Now I'm going to let it get to room temperature and then throw it in the Max grill. The steak is almost up to temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and install the grill grate. And you just put it in all the way back, and it goes and locks into place right over that little temperature probe that I showed you. Now I'm going to close the doors, turn it on, and then I'm going to go to oven, go over to grill, leave it at 500. Going to up the time a bunch to allow for the preheat and for the steak to finish getting to room temp, and start her up. So what's really cool is the temperature of the grill grate is right here. See, 98, 101. And when it's up to temperature, that'll go to 500, and the grill light will stop flashing, indicating the preheat is complete. At that time, I'll go ahead and put the steak in. Alright, it's definitely up to temperature now. The grill light is solid. It's at 500 degrees. Time to put the steak in. Oh yeah, it started sizzling immediately. So it's been cooking for about 6 minutes. On the first side, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. The meter app says there are 10 minutes remaining for it to get to 140, and I do like steak more towards the medium side. And wow, that's smelling so good. Oh yeah, check that out. Grill marks all the way. Alright, let's close it up and let it finish. I got the notice to remove from heat. It's at 133 right now. I'm still going to leave it in a minute or two longer. Now it's at 139 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to go ahead and let it rest. Temperature's at 149. Should be pretty much where I like it to be. It says it's almost done resting, which is great. Also, I want to note, I haven't cut into it yet or anything, but look at all that juice. Check that out. There we go. It says it's ready. Temp's at 148. I'm going to go ahead and stop that. Going to go ahead and remove the probe. Time to go ahead and cut into it. Oh yeah, that's nice. There's a look at the inside. It is perfect the way I like it. Definitely right around a medium. Going to go ahead and cut a couple slices. That's definitely looking really good. Going to take a quick bite. It has a nice char on it too. I'm sure you could see that. Oh wow, that is tender, juicy, especially for a sirloin. The next two examples, I'm going to do chicken wings and also chicken breast fillets. I'm going to try the McCormick Grill Mates Smoky Habanero Marinade Mix. Here goes the mix. Using a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of water. Go ahead and stir all that together. I got 6 chicken wings. I'm actually going to take 2 out, and I'm going to marinate those differently. Next, I got some chicken breast fillets. These ones are sliced super thin, so they're not going to take long to cook. I'm going to go ahead and pour the marinade on top of the pieces. And I'm going to leave a little bit aside for when I'm cooking. I'm going to go ahead and plastic wrap these and put them in the refrigerator for about an hour. The next ones I'm going to marinate with teriyaki sauce. Put a little bit down as a base. All these sesame seeds in there I could see. This stuff is super thick. So I'm going to first put in the 2 remaining wings and then a couple pieces of the chicken breast fillet. Since I don't have that large of a dish, I'm going to layer it. But first I want to get some more sauce there, also on top of the wings. And let's get one more. And then some more teriyaki sauce. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the refrigerator for about an hour and let it marinate as well. It's been almost an hour since the chicken has been marinating, so I'm going to go ahead and put the grill grate in. Start it up. Go to oven, grill, and I'm going to set the temperature a lot higher than I actually need. That way it has time to preheat, and I'm only going to cook these at 365 degrees. Let's start it up. As it is warming up, the grill grate temperature is right here. As soon as the full preheat is complete, the grill will stop blinking and turn solid. Alright, it looks like it took a couple minutes, maybe a few minutes for the grill to get up to temperature. That is the grill grate. However, the oven itself is still warming up as the grill light is still flashing. There we go. It just turned solid, so the oven's preheated, the grill grate is preheated. Let's go ahead and put in the chicken. Alright, so first I'm going to start and put the chicken breast fillets in. And then the teriyaki breast fillet. And we're going to let that cook. And I'm not worried about the chicken fat dripping onto the elements because they are completely covered by the grill grate. However, the crumb tray could be a little bit of a mess afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the time to 20 minutes. It's been about 7 minutes, and I think I'm going to turn them over just from the way they're looking. And I'll probably let it go for another 7 minutes. As it's finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and spoon on a little of that McCormick marinade. Chicken has been cooking a total of 14 minutes, and I have a feeling it's probably done. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them, then I'm going to hit the thickest one with a temp probe. That's what I'm looking at. Let me hit it with a probe. And honestly, it's at the perfect temperature. It's sitting at 167. I just tried a piece off camera and it's tasty. It's definitely nice and tender. Doesn't take much to cut into it. Really liking the results. Let's go ahead and put in the wings. Now I'm pretty sure that's going to make a little bit of a mess on the crumb tray. Hopefully it comes off easy. The first go around with the breast fillets, it definitely got all gunked up, but it was able to be wiped off pretty easily. And I'm going to let them go for about 10 minutes, then I'll go ahead and flip them over. Okay, they've been going for about 10 minutes now. Let's go ahead and flip them over. And I'm going to let them go for about maybe 6 or 7 minutes. They should be done at that time. Okay, wings have been in there between 16 and 17 minutes roughly. So I'm going to go ahead and take the temperature on one of them. Yeah, pretty sure they're all done. Let me go ahead and remove them. Alright, so that's what we're looking at. They definitely look really good. I've gone ahead and hit them with a temperature probe. They're at about 173. So I think that was perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cook this frozen pepperoni pizza. In order to cook the pizza, we first got to preheat. So you can press the selector dial to wake up the device, Press start stop. Then I'm going to go to oven, leave it on bake. I'm going to set the time longer than it needs to be. And then I'm going to go and set the temperature to 400 degrees and start it up. Additionally, I have the wire rack installed into the bake to position. While it is preheating, you notice bake is blinking. As soon as it's up to temperature, bake will turn solid. You do not want to put the pizza in until the preheat is done and bake turns solid. All right, the max is up to temperature. Bake light is solid. Time to put in the pizza. What I'm going to do is install this silicone bake mat. All right, let's go ahead and put in the pizza. It's supposed to cook 19 to 21 minutes. I have a feeling it'll be faster than that, but I'll go ahead and set it at 19. After about 10 minutes or so, I'm going to rotate the pizza. It's been about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate the pizza. I can see at the back, it's a little brown. Maybe it doesn't need to be done, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because it does look a little more done than the front. Hopefully this will work out. I'm going to use this pizza paddle. And if you could tell, the back there, which is right here, used to be the back, it is a little bit more done. Let's go ahead and put it back in. There's still 7 minutes remaining, and I'm kind of thinking it's about done. I should have turned it around a little more because I could see on the right-hand side there and to the front, it maybe got a little bit more cooked than I would like it, but that's going to be fine. I like a crunchy pizza. Okay, I think I'm going to remove it. There's still 6 minutes. Any moment it's going to change to 5. But the cheese on the top, it definitely has a nice golden brown. Let me go ahead and take it out and we'll take a look at it. So that's what I'm looking at, and it's not too bad. It's a little more done than I would like it to be. I think next time, since this is the first time I've tried this exact type of pizza, next time I'll go ahead and turn it around after about 8 minutes and it should be fine. Because you can tell this side that was at the rear initially is a little bit more brown than the side right here, which got to the back after I rotated it. I'm going to go ahead and cut into it. Let's take a look at the bottom. I'm really curious to see if it got a little bit brown being on the silicone mat. Oh yeah, that definitely looks pretty good. Next up, I'm going to be making some Lamb Weston super crispy shoestring fries. And I like that Lamb Weston has air frying instructions. Preheat air fryer to 360. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to go to air fry, leave it in regular air fry. I'm going to set the time a lot higher. It doesn't really matter how much. And I'm going to set the temperature at 360 and start her up. Air fry light is blinking. When it's up to temperature, it will turn solid. Meanwhile, I'm going to fill the air fryer basket. Make sure to do it in a single layer. Looks like it's up to temperature. I'm going to put the air frying basket in the regular air frying position. And maybe move it forward a little. Close the doors. The instructions say 10 to 12 minutes. I'll go ahead and set it on 12. And let it go. They're about halfway done cooking. I'm going to go ahead and shake the basket a little bit. Put them back in and let them continue. The fries have been cooking about 11 minutes now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and remove them. They look done to me. That's what I'm looking at, and they're definitely a nice golden brown. Gonna have to try one of these. Definitely nice and crispy, crunchy. But wait, there's more. This morning I've been preparing a pot of Terlingua, Texas competition championship chili. And let's go ahead and put some on these fries. And of course, if you're gonna have chili fries, you gotta have some cheese. So I'm using some super hot, smoky white cheddar cheese that I grated. Oh, those are going to be so good. Next up, I'm going to make an Angus beef hot dog on the grill plate. Let's go ahead and put the grill plate in. Start it up. Oven mode. Go to grill. I'm going to set the time a little bit higher. And the temperature I'm going to put down at 300 degrees. And start her up. Looks like it's up to temperature. I'm going to go ahead and put the hot dog in. Okay, it's been cooking about 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and roll it forward. Not much grill lines on these. I probably could have put the temperature a little higher. In fact, I think I'll do it now, even though it's kind of after the fact. I'll go to 325. It's been cooking for another 4 minutes. Take a look at it. Oh yeah, now the grill marks are starting to come on, and it's kind of starting to plump and bulge a little bit. That's what I'm looking at. And what hot dog is not complete without some chili, huh? Homemade chili, which is even better. Then I'm going to add some of that Joy cheese, spicy, smoky Moruga scorpion cheese. And then I think I'll add a little bit of pickles. And to top it off, just a little bit of mustard. Next, I'm going to bake a Duncan Hines perfectly moist strawberry supreme cake. The first thing we want to do is preheat to 350. So I'm going to go to start, stop, oven mode, leave it on bake, up the time a bit to allow for the preheat and for mixing everything. And then set it at 350 and hit start, stop. Also to note, I have the wire rack installed into the bake to position. I went ahead and prepared the cake batter. I'm going to try baking it in this 9-inch silicone springform pan. Usually I use it for cheesecakes. Hopefully it works for this without leaking. Going to go ahead and pour it in. Give it a tap or two to get rid of any air bubbles. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the max. And I have it set on 29 minutes. It says something like 23 to 28 minutes on the box. So I started right at 29 minutes. There are 2 minutes left. I have not rotated it at all. It's not exactly touching the back, so perhaps the back won't be done more than the front. But as soon as the 2 minutes are up, I'm going to pop it out and check for doneness. Okay, the cycle is complete. Let's check it out. And by looking at the back, it doesn't look too much more done than the front. I can tell it's a little darker. That's what we are looking at so far. And it's not burnt. It is a little bit darker. Anyhow, I think it came out pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and let it cool down, frost it, and then check back with you guys. There it is. I went ahead and applied the frosting. I did an okay job for someone who doesn't normally bake cakes. Let me go ahead and try to cut a slice. I don't really have a cake knife. So I'll try this carving knife, see if that works out. Oh yeah. There's a look at the piece I cut. Looks really good. Next, I'm going to go with one of the recipes that is in the Max Air Fryer Oven Grill recipe book. I'm going to go with the chocolate chip cookies, except I'm using half the amount of chocolate chips and the other half Heath bits. I already weighed out brown sugar and regular sugar, and I'm just going to sift it here. There's the sugar and brown sugar after I sifted it. Now I'm adding a whole stick of butter. I already got it softened. And I'm going to go ahead and beat it on low speed until everything's combined. Next thing I did is added an egg that you could see in there. And her recipe doesn't call for it, but I've made chocolate chip cookies before, and I've always added vanilla extract. So I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So now we're going to go ahead and combine these ingredients. I'm adding in 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix that together. That's been mixing a little while now. And yeah, it looks like it could come together. It's kind of crumbly, but at the same time, I am able to make it come together, as you could see. So that should be good. I think that should be perfect. Lastly, I'm going to add a cup of chocolate chips and Heath Bits. It's a half cup of each. And I'm going to go ahead and mix those in. I think these ones are a little bit harder to mix in. They're kind of double the size of a regular chocolate chip. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cover this and put it in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. While the dough is in the refrigerator, time to preheat the Max. Going to go ahead and wake it up, start, stop, hit oven, leave it in bake mode. Just going to add a bunch of extra time. It really doesn't matter for right now. And then I'm going to put the temperature at 3 1/4 and hit start. While it's preheating, the bake light will blink. When it comes up to temperature, the bake light will turn solid. So I've gone ahead and portioned them out. I didn't exactly weigh them or anything. Some of them are a little bigger than others, but anyhow, I'm going to have to do this in 2 different runs because there's still dough left over. And I'm going to put them in the bake 2 position. I'm going to let them cook for 10 minutes, then I'm going to rotate the tray around. I'm also going to change it to 20 minutes. That way I could gauge when 10 minutes is up. Okay, 10 minutes is up, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate them. They look like they're flattening a little bit. Still got a ways to go. I probably should have made them a little bit smaller. And we're going to let them go ahead and continue. Alright, cycle is complete. So that's a total of 20 minutes. I probably could have removed them earlier. And not all the chocolate chips were distributed evenly, I could tell. Let me show you what we're looking at. So that's what I'm looking at. All in all, not too bad. I can see there's a lot of chocolate chips here. Couple here, couple here. Don't see any here. I see 1 here, 2 there. I don't know, they could be baked inside. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes all of the cooking demonstrations. I believe I did bacon, strawberry cake, chicken breast tender fillets, wings, frozen pizza, steak, chocolate chip and Heath Bit cookies, fries, and a hot dog. They all actually came out really well. One thing to note is the frozen pizza, I would have turned it around a little bit earlier. In fact, I will do that next time, and also maybe not let it go as long. It was good. It was still really good, and the sauce was still there. It didn't like burn off or anything. It was just a hair more done than I'd like it to be, and that's just the thing. When things are nearing completion, you definitely got to keep an eye on them. You turn around for 1 second and look back, and you're like, wow. Yeah, things could go from like sweet to sour within less than a minute's time for sure. The strawberry cake came out really good. I was really happy with it. The chicken breast fillet tender things, they came out really good, although I really wish I could have used a real chicken breast, like a full chicken breast. Those fillets, they're so thin, and I don't know, they're not as juicy as like a nice big chicken breast. So I'm going to try to get one of those maybe next week or the week after. The store was sold all out of them, so I had to get what I could get. The wings came out really good. Next time, I'm going to make them more the breaded, crispy type. But these weren't supposed to be the crispy type. They were just really good and very well marinated and cooked really well. Perfect temperature and everything. Still loads of flavor and juicy inside. Really enjoyed them. And the steak came out great. For a sirloin steak, come on. It was like one of the best sirloin steaks I've ever had. Normally I don't get sirloin. Normally I go with either like porterhouse or a T-bone or a New York steak, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's all they had was sirloin, so I went with sirloin. Anyhow, I will be following up and doing another steak cook in the Max Grill once I could get a better steak. And chocolate chip and Heath Bit cookies definitely came out really good. I was quite surprised. I don't think I proportioned them properly. In fact, next time, what I think I'm going to do is not stir in the chocolate chip and Heath Bits into the dough. In fact, I think I'll just leave the dough as it is. And then as I'm forming each ball, I'll just take like 2 chocolate chips and a Heath Bit or 2 and push it into the dough. That way each one has the same amount of chocolate chips and Heath. And, you know, they're not so topsy-turvy where one looks like no chips, one looks like a lot of chips. Anyhow, you learn as you go, and I'm kind of new to baking, I will say. And the French fries came out really good, nice and crispy. Just goes to show you don't need to cook them at 400 or 425 degrees. 360 is just fine. In fact, I've had a couple bags of French fries that have had air fryer instructions, and they all say 360 degrees. Oven mode, they'll say 400, but the difference is with air fry mode, blowing 360 degrees down is like 400 degrees in a regular oven if you think about it. It's not really any hotter, but because of the force of heat, it almost cooks the food like it is hotter. So that's one thing to note when you're cooking frozen French fries. The hot dog, I could have cooked it a little bit on a higher temperature. I wasn't really sure. I don't normally cook hot dogs, and when I do, I normally don't cook them in the Max, but I thought I'd give it a try. Anyhow, it came out really good though. Even though it didn't have the best grill marks on it, it was definitely nice and hot and cooked through and through, even though hot dogs are already cooked anyways. But it was like properly heated up. And that chili that went on the dog and the fries, come on, that was like some amazing chili. You could look back, if you want to make that chili, look back at my videos and look for competition championship chili. I forget what I named the video. But definitely check it out. The guy who made it was Jason Goins, if I'm pronouncing his name right. But yeah, definitely a good chili to make. I'll be making it again sometime in the future. So I think that really is it. Oh wait, and the bacon. I didn't really discuss the bacon. Came out perfect, okay? If you just follow my instructions that I showed you in this video, you too will have perfect bacon. It was like a medium cut. It wasn't totally thick, and it definitely wasn't thin. So your times may change a little bit depending on the cut of your bacon, but that should be used as a guideline in how to cook it and everything. So I really think that about sums it up. So far, I am really loving the Kalorik Maxx Air Fryer Oven Grill Edition. They had to shorten the name. I'm just going to call it the Max Grill from now on. I think that's a lot easier. I don't even have to use Kalorik. Kalorik's a brand name. It's not the name of the machine. But I think just Max Grill. I think it just sounds a lot better. It has a better ring to it. Oh, and also I want to shout out all the people in the Kalorik Maxx Air Fryer Oven group. I mean, that's really what it's called. Kalorik Maxx Air Fryer Oven. Bam. If you go to that group, lots of great people sharing, lots of great recipes. It's a friendly place. There's no BS going on there. Like, I go to a lot of groups and there's a lot of like weird negative energy. This group seems to be full of friendly people and everything, and I interact with a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys watch my videos, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you're not a member of that group and you have a Kalorik Maxx, you're either in the wrong group or you haven't looked for a group. Definitely check it out, Kalorik Maxx Air Fryer Oven. So, yeah, and that's on Facebook. So that's about it. I think we're going to tow this one out of here. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please drop me a line below. I thoroughly enjoy interacting with you. And if you're new to my channel, don't you forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out, because I got all kinds of good things coming up. Oh yeah, and also other news. I just broke 2,000 subscribers. I am so happy. And not only that, I got my second payment from YouTube for being able to monetize and put advertisements on my videos. I didn't really do it for the money, but I figured, you know what? I might as well try to get something back out of it, because I dump a lot of money into kitchen gadgets and food and different things, and it's nice to see a little bit come back to me, you know, even though it's not a lot that they sent me. You know, at least I got something. I thought that was neat. So anyhow, I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And with that, have a stellar day. Be excellent. And remember me, I am KJ Andy O, your food experience host with the most. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.